Hey there guys, welcome back to the Modern JavaScript Crash course. In this video we're carrying on taking a look at JavaScript built-in objects, and in this video we'll take a look at the string object and some of its methods and properties. As always guys, if you're new here and like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe and make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Okay, so as I mentioned in the last video, with JavaScript, methods and properties are also available to primitive values because JavaScript will treat these primitive values as objects when we're applying them with methods and properties. So in effect, the number and string primitive data types have their own methods and properties we can use. So like in the previous lesson, let's take a look at some of the methods and properties available for the string object that you'll most likely use. And again, like in the previous lesson, I will leave a link to a list of all the string methods and properties in the description if you guys want to check that out. But first, let's just create a variable with a string value. So we'll go underneath this comment here and we'll say const, we'll say my string, just insert in here the classic hello world. So we've created our variable here with a string of hello world. Now the first method we're going to be taking a look at is the toUpperCase method. So we'll go inside the console log here and we'll just grab my string and dot notation. And as you can see, all the different methods we can use for the string object. So we were looking for toUpperCase, and because this is a method, we insert parentheses. And as you probably guessed, what this does is just make our string here all uppercase. Now there's also a lowercase version of this, so toLowercase. And again, as you probably guessed, what this does is just make our string lowercase. So pretty standard stuff. Now the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is in fact a property. So what we'll do is just duplicate this, but comment this one out, and then after my string we'll use dot length. And if you guys remember back to the previous lesson, a property in an object is a thing about that object. So length, as you might have guessed, is the length of our string in terms of character and spaces. So inside the string now, this will all add up to 11. So we've got 10 words, and we also include the space, which equals 11. That's why we're getting the output of 11 inside the console here. So that's how the dot length property works. So now we're going to jump back to methods, and the next method we're going to take a look at is the index of method. So I'll just comment that one out and we'll say index of, and then use the parentheses so we know it's a method. Now what this method does is return the position of the specified value in a string. So let's just say we want to find out what the number of the L is in our string. We'll just put in here the L. You can see it's giving us the value of 2 because the index starts at 0, so H is 0, 1 is E, and then L is 2. Now, as well as index of, we also have the last index of method, which returns the position of the last occurrence of that specified value in a string. So if we say last index of, you can see it's given us the output of 9 because this L here is the last occurrence of that specified value. So if we count this now, so it starts at 0, so 0, so H is 0, E is 1, L is 2, the other L is 3, 4, and then the space counts as a number, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that's the last time we see an L in our string, so that's why it's given us the output of 9. So that's how the last index of method works. Now another common method we might use is the slice method. So just duplicate this, uncomment that, and then we'll grab the slice method and then close it off with parentheses. Now what the slice method does is extract part of a string and returns that extract part in a new string. So the first, and this actually takes in 2 values here. So the first character has the position of 0 and the second has the position of 1, and so on and so on. So let's just say we want to slice out of the hello section here. The H is the 0, and then E is 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll say in here 0 and 5, and as you can see, it's given us the output of hello because we're slicing out the hello section here using 2 values, so 0, which starts at the first letter, and then 5, which is the O. So that's how the slice method works. Now the last common method you'll likely run into is the replace method. So just duplicate this one more time and comment this out, and we'll just delete this section here and say replace, and then close off parentheses because it's a method. Now how the replace method works, it searches a string for a specified value and returns a new string where the specified values are replaced. So let's just say we want to place the word world for there. We'd go inside this method here and we'd grab the word world and then use a comma and replace that word for the word there. And as you can see now, using the replace method, we've changed the original string from hello world to hello there. So those were some of the common methods and properties we can use for the built-in string objects. So to summarize guys, this lesson and the previous lesson, JavaScript treats primitive values as objects when we're executing methods and properties, which in turn gives us access to those methods and properties for things like numbers and strings. And as we've seen in this video, for strings there are many useful methods and properties that enable us to do all sorts of things. So like replacing certain words in our strings, changing our strings to uppercase or lowercase, taking part of a string out. And again, I've left a link in the description which has all the different methods and properties if you guys want to dive into this a bit deeper. But that's going to be it for this video guys. If you like the content, please hit the like button and please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.